The so-called Liberty Day was a holiday invented by the federal government to finance the massive effort of entering World War I. One-third of the war's funding would come from the imposition of progressive new taxes, while two-thirds would come from selling Liberty bonds to the American people. On October 25, 1917, Liberty Day was held in New York, and the authorities started an unprecedented publicity campaign to convince the public to buy the bonds. To make things more interesting, the government rolled out a magnificent display. A three-engine Caproni bomber plane flew low among the skyscrapers, a parade of military motorcycles traveled up Fifth Avenue, and a captured German U-boat submarine decorated with the American flags inside Central Park. The submarine displayed signs like, "Submarines take lives, Liberty bonds save them, and you buy a bond." The German submarine SMUC-5 was not just a random submarine, it recorded 29 ship sinkings to its name. The boat was ordered by November 1914 and launched on June 13, 1915, commissioned into the German Imperial Navy just 6 days later. During World War I, Germany struggled to develop a navy that could outcompete England due to finances, yet Germany developed a strategy of building hundreds of cheap submarines that could cut off the United Kingdom and its supplies from the rest of the world. Originally, the UC-5 ran aground while on patrol April 27, 1916, and was towed up and displayed to the London public at Temple Pier on the Thames River and, the following year, in New York for propaganda purposes. The submarine could operate at a depth of 160 feet and had a maximum speed of 7.47 miles per hour while surfaced. Observation was an incredibly important role in aerial warfare in World War I. All major combatants used observation balloons to observe their enemies' trench lines and troop movements. These hovering mammoths were used for directing artillery, which required spotters and observation well beyond the visual range of ground-based observers. As much as planes were able to record enemy positions and movement on film, having real-time spotters and observational balloon baskets linked to the ground by telephone was essential. It allowed the artillery to take advantage of increasingly large guns with vastly longer ranges. The first military use of observation balloons was by the French Aerostatic Corps during the French Revolutionary Wars, the very first time during the Battle of Fleurus, 1794. The oldest preserved observation balloon, L'Intrépide, is on display in a Vienna museum. They were also used by both sides during the American Civil War, 1861–65, and continued in use during the Franco-Prussian War, 1870–71. World War I was the high point for the military use of observation balloons. The British, despite their experience in late 1800s Africa, were behind developments and were still using spherical balloons. These were quickly replaced by more advanced types, known as kite balloons, which were aerodynamically shaped to be stable and could operate in more extreme weather conditions. The Germans first developed the Parseval-Siegfeld type balloon, and the French soon responded with the Caquot type. Typically, balloons were tethered to a steel cable attached to a winch that reeled the gas bag to its desired height, often above 3,000 feet, and retrieved it at the end of an observation session. Because of their importance as observation platforms, balloons were defended by anti-aircraft guns, groups of machine guns for low-altitude defense, and patrolling fighter aircraft. Attacking a balloon was a risky venture, but some pilots relished the challenge. The most successful were known as balloon busters, including such notables as Belgium's Willy Coppens, Germany's Friedrich Ritter von Roth, America's Frank Luke, and the Frenchman Léon Bourgeaud, Michel Coiffard, and Maurice Boyau. Many expert balloon busters were careful not to go below 1,000 feet, 300 meters, in order to avoid exposure to anti-aircraft guns and machine guns.